Hey everyone, how has your week been? Let me know in the comments how your week has been, who's been trading this week. I can see here in the comments we got some regular faces. Calm Krishna, hey, I saw you on my live as well the other day, so thank you for being here. King Amaru, hi guys. I hope you're all doing good. But yeah, let me know in the comments how your week has been, how your trading week has been. Oh, Tales of Muku, thank you so much. That's so sweet. We're going to do a giveaway at the end as usual, guys. So make sure you stay to the very end. Use this free session as a way to get mentoring. If you've got questions, this is your time. People ask me all the time, I don't what do I do if I don't have money to do a mentorship? Utilize what is out there for free. Don't just come here to spam the comments. Get better at trading. Ask the questions that you need to ask. Be open-minded, let go of that ego, ask the right questions so that we can all become profitable traders. Shells. Oh, I'm sorry, that is a very, very long username. Shells. Shells. I'm going to call you Shells. You said not so good. And then Khan Krishna, we had up and down. Okay, green P&L, that's great. Let me know what's not been so good. Okay, so criteria to win the giveaway. The winner is picked at random at the end, complete random. It doesn't matter how many times you ask for the account, it's going to be picked at random. You got to stay to the end, because if I call your name out and you're no longer here, the account is then going to be given away to someone else. So just it doesn't make a difference spamming the comments, but make sure you share the live with your audiences, help other people. We're all want to win together. And just make sure you double tap, make sure you give the stream a like. Let's get this out there. More people need to see this. So yeah, had a losing streak on gold. Okay, D4X. How long have you been trading for? One of the best weeks. Amazing. How do I get the bias while it's in a range? So Samir, my number one rule is, if there is no clear direction, the best thing to do is not trade. But yeah, I dislike the spammers as well. Okay, we'll talk about emotional control, but firstly, what I always like to do is show you my strategy, talk you through how I look at the charts, and then you guys can ask any questions as we go along. Okay, so we're going to look at NQ to start with. This is NAS 100. So I always like to start on the higher time frame, and we're going to do a top-down analysis. Just make sure all the key zones are marked up. So key zones for me, I only really like to mark up like my areas of supply and demand on either the daily time frame or the 4-hour time frame, because I don't want to trade too much. I am transitioning more towards a swing trader. And by the way, guys, if you haven't seen already, ThinkCapital have launched their swing trader accounts. So if anyone's a swing trader, you definitely got to jump on one of their swing accounts. Okay, so we've got an area of supply here. It hasn't been tapped into just yet, so it'll be interesting to see how price responds when we come to this area. Are we going to reject? So for me, this area is either going to be a place to sell from, or if we break through to the other side, we could then look to buy from it. On the other side, so right now on the daily, we've got no more kind of daily zones that haven't already been tapped into. So we're going to go down to the 4-hour. So I think this blue one here, it literally just got tapped into. So you can start to see how price really respects these key areas. So this was an area to buy from, but I clearly missed it, which is fine. But now for me, this zone is it's less strong. If we come back to it, I'm not going to be so quick to be looking for my buys. If anything, if we start coming back down, I would rather it break through and then us sell from it. But we also have another area. So this one would have already been tapped into. The other area of demand is all the way down here. So if we get a bearish movement from, breaking this trend line, this area of demand, then we've got quite a nice move to the next zone. So, but overall, NQ is looking bullish, but I like to just mark up my key areas. We don't really have any others. This is very, very difficult price action to trade. I haven't really been trading NQ because I would only want to trade from the key areas, because you can see here it's quite messy. 1 minute is going one way, 1 minute is going the other way. So someone asked, how do you get your bias if you're in a range? It all depends what type of trader you are, but the type of trader I am, because I am moving more towards my swing, I want clear confirmation. If I'm confused, if I'm looking at the charts and I'm thinking, oh, I don't even know if that's going up or down, my number one rule is just not to trade. So nothing for me here on NQ, unfortunately. We're going to have to wait to see a bit more of the reaction. And same as my trend lines, I actually only have trend lines on the daily and the 4 hours, so we can slightly move this trend line, because as price does come out a little bit, I like to move my trend line out, because I put my trend line at the wicks, not the candles, but I don't add more trend lines in either. I just move my trend lines out like this. So really, I'm not looking to do anything. We could potentially take a sell once we get back up to this trend line, back down to this trend line. We can see this triangle trend line being formed. So once we get to the end of it, then hopefully we're going to see a big push up or a big push down, and we can capitalize on that. Okay, so before we go on to gold, I'm going to just have a little look at some of the comments. This week has been a losing week for me, Mr. Niki. You know what? In trading, you're meant to have losing weeks. Don't let this week come with you next week. Learn from the lessons, but don't carry that emotion of a losing week, because all you need to do is make sure that you're learning from these weeks. Gold has been awful past few days. Yeah, I haven't really traded gold too much. I've been in a swing trade on Euro USD all week. So I've not really been trading gold. How does one get an edge? Okay, explain the term for a new trader. An edge is what keeps you in the market for a long period of time, and this is what is going to make you profitable. Because actually, all strategies technically work, but for different people. So your edge is more to do, I believe, with actually who you are. You got to use your strengths and use that to create your edge. And also, you see all of this stuff on social media. Oh, follow me, learn this edge, whatever. But you honestly have to find what works for you. You have to know yourself inside out to even start thinking about an edge. But an edge is something that is mechanical, something that you can follow and can be repeated over and over again. So you want to find your edge. This is the thing that is going to keep you profitable. But I think an edge isn't just one aspect. You've got your strategy on how you enter. So you're probably going to have some type of edge, to your strategy. So it's going to be a mechanical setup, and you want it to obviously be a profitable one. And you don't need to reinvent the wheel, guys. Stop trying to, create your own strategy and blah blah blah. Because when you do that, you're going to have to do a lot of testing, to make a strategy and confirm it as a profitable one that has an edge to it. You want to be testing this for years. There's strategies out there that that are already tried and tested. So Leave the ego behind. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Do what's already working, but find which strategy is working for you. But like I said, we've got multiple aspects of this, and not just about the how of how you enter a trade, but also your risk management. Your risk management, how much you're losing and how much you're making. You need a strategy around this that's going to keep you profitable, and also your emotional management strategy, the one that everybody misses out. You know, this is the one that most people find boring. They don't want to talk about it. They don't think it's interesting, but this is the one you got to focus more on. But I know everyone wants to look at the charts. Everyone wants to only focus on the first one. But I'm telling you now, guys, be that person that is different to everybody else who's losing. Focus on the strategy side of the emotions that no one else follows. So, or even thinks about. What's your how you came into trading instead of modeling? I used to actually be a model, but I've been trading now for nearly 9 years. Like, I think sometime in the summer it will be 9 years of trading. So it's been a long time in the trading game. It's only been the last 3 years that I've been doing it more full time. This last 2 years I've just kind of gone full time with trading. My all my energy and my focus has come to trading, but I've been dabbling in trading for a very, very long time. You know, it feels like a long time. So learn from my mistakes, people. Life is unfair. Yes, of course life is unfair. Okay, let's have a look at gold. Let's move on to gold because we all love to look at gold. So let's start again. Higher time frame, we drop down. So we clearly are very, very bullish, and this is very steep as well. You know, we're very steep. I really wanted to buy position, but I wanted price to pull back a little bit more, in all honesty. So technically this is a bigger zone like this on the daily, but I think I refined it on the 4 hour. Then we've got a daily demand zone down here, and I think I refined it again on the 4 hour. So this area hasn't come back to, hasn't been used by price yet, so I'm going to leave this up. But like I said, these areas can switch. This was an area to sell from, but when it breaks through, it's now an area to buy from. So on the 4 hour, as you can see, we broke through. So I think, yeah, I kind of like, it doesn't really need refining, to be honest. That here is my zone. We broke through the zone. What I wanted it to do was price to come down a little bit more, and it might still do this. So I'm definitely, I've got my alerts on for this area here. What I want price to do is maybe have as you can see now, it's ranging. So if we sweep all these lows, come back into this area, and then buy from this area here. This is ideally what I would want to happen. But right now, when gold is like this is for me a bit of a danger zone. I don't want to be trading. There's no key zones. There's nothing for me to trade from in this area. So I'm only taking a buy if it does come down a little bit more, or if we actually break out at the top here. So let's say price doesn't come back down here and it just goes straight up here. I would want it to maybe retest the area that it broke out, and you take your buy from higher up. That's my that's all I've got on gold right now, guys. Like, for me, again, nothing until something happens. The biggest skill that you can develop in your trading journey is patience. This is something that literally nearly no traders have. So if you can master the act of patience, you are literally like 80% further than the 90% of people who lose. Obviously, you need other skills, but patience, even for me, I struggle with patience because, we want to get into these trades, we want to make money, but actually, sometimes being patient is the way that you make more money. There's something that I like to say in trading is that we actually get paid to wait. So when you're waiting and not entering, remember this is still an action. Everyone always thinks, "Oh, I'm not doing anything. I need to get in. I need to get the reps in. I need to get good." No, like trading's so different, guys. It's very, very different to other things because doing nothing is actually something in trading. Would you rather not trade and save the money or trade and lose the money? Answer that question. Ask yourself, what would you rather? Oh, we got a few swing traders on here. Amazing. Like I said, guys, ThinkCapital have literally just launched their swing accounts, so make sure you check them out. If you want a discount, Doey FX, we've got a discount running on my code. So yeah, if you're a swing trader, I definitely recommend getting one of those accounts. I have a set there already. Stocks look bullish. Tales of Imuku, I don't trade stocks. Yeah, the 4 hour just wicked that zone. Okay, we got a lot of swing traders waiting for your smile. Oh, do you not think I'm smiley? I feel like I'm very smiley. I only trade gold and doing really good with this year's starts. Perfect. Do I need to trade any? You know what, King Amari? I used to just trade gold. If it's working for you, it's working for you. You don't need to force yourself into other things if that's not what you want to do and you're doing fine with it. The only reason why I started trading other things is because gold moves relatively fast. And I quite liked the slower movements of the currencies. And, I just started trading some currencies and I just really like it. So it's all just preference. There's no right or wrong way. There's people who are profitable who just trade gold. There's people who are profitable who trade 10 different things. It's whatever works for you. That's the best decision to make. We shouldn't force trades if there's no clear setup. Yes, 100%. I couldn't agree more. I'll talk you guys through Euro USD because I'm currently in a swing trade on this pair. So it is I love Euro USD. So if anyone's looking at trading currencies, this is something, it's pretty basic. Everyone who trades currencies will trade Euro USD most probably. But yeah, let me just have a look and see what other questions we have. This week I just got funded. Oh, amazing, Hamza. You first learn, then you earn. Yes, I like that little rhyme. A good edge keeps you trading longer. Yes, 100%. Where do you keep your trading journal? Excel, Notion. You know what? I do Notion and I actually do paper and pen because when I journal on my emotions, that usually is I prefer to do that written down. Twilight, Janice. I don't know how to pronounce these things. But hi, I think you're new here. I haven't seen your name pop up before. Okay. Just reading some of your comments. Okay. Okay, so you're right. Starting my losses earlier today to figure out what to fix. That's amazing. Yes, this is 100% what I feel like you need to do. Whenever you lose, journal. Journal on the emotions. Journal on everything about that trade. Don't just be like, oh, I entered here and it lost. Really, really dig deep. Do you focus on one pair? How many? Okay, so I trade NQ. I trade gold. I trade silver, and then I trade Euro USD and GBP USD. So I want to go through now Euro USD because I can actually show you my entry confirmation. The reason why I wasn't showing you the entry confirmation on NQ and gold is because there's no setup. I only actually start dropping down to the lower time frames when we are ready to get in. Okay, so Most people say trading is a form of gambling. What do you think? I think you can absolutely gamble with this. If you do not have a strategy in place for your entry, for your risk management, and your emotions, you are doing nothing but gambling. And if you know nothing about nothing, then you are gambling. So, yes, it is definitely a way people can look at this as gambling, but you can also look at this as a professional industry that you focus on protecting your money first and making money second. So with Euro USD, I'm going to start again from the higher time frame and work our way down, and I'll explain to you. I'll explain this trade to you. So, okay, so we have this area now. So you can see this now switching. We're breaking through, and if we took I'm pretty sure I've taken a sell somewhere around here. We've broken through this daily demand zone. So before it was somewhere to buy from. We did have a bit of a reaction off for one day, but then we just reversed and started breaking down. Now our next daily zone is all the way down here. So this is, where I'm kind of hoping to end up. So I'm gonna hold my positions. I've got a few positions open. So we got those daily demand zones now. Like I said, this potentially turning into a supply zone. And I'm just gonna mark up where I actually originally entered from. So I had a area of supply marked up originally up here. And as we can see, we had that initial move down here. We had this initial move down here, which is what I would want to see. You saw these two candles come up. Once we are in now a key zone, this is now where we start to drop down. So once we are here, so on these two candles here, so this was, a little bit further, kind of more towards the beginning of the year. So the reason why I really like swing trading is like you don't have to rush for your entries. When I was day trading and scalping, I had to always be on the ball. Whereas swing trading, you just got so much more time, and it just suits my life a lot better. So once we came into this area here, we can then drop down to the 15-minute. So we drop down to the 15 minutes, so we can see this stuff happening over here. And we can see that it is completely rejecting out of the zone. So when I looked at this, so this was the initial area that was created. We tapped into this area. Now, when I am using the lower time frame, I am not looking at previous data. I only want to see new data. So what I mean by this is I'm going to show you guys, I mark up on my charts a vertical line. So anything now on the left-hand side, I'm going to ignore. I want to see bearish structure. So what I mean by bearish structure is we need to start breaking the lows to get bearish structure. So the first kind of low that we created here on the new side of the new data is all the way down here. We got a bit of consolidation, got a bit of that consolidation going on there. We broke it, and I was like, okay, that's cool. This is what I needed. So this confirmed it on the 15-minute. Now, what I like to do is mark up this new area, because I'm not just going to sell from it straight away. I'm just going to change the color. So what I want to do is wait for price to come back to this zone. We want to wait for price to come back to the zone, and you can see not straight away. We didn't reverse straight away, which is fine. So then what I like to do, so this is the the 5th of January. I'm now going to drop down to the 1 minute. So can you see what I mean by swing trading is just so much slower? Oh, wow. So much slower than, I'm hoping this will actually show me the 5th of January. No. Oh, damn. Okay. It's not going to show me the 5th of January. That's fine, but I'll just kind of talk you through and explain what I mean. So when we were up here, this was my first position. I basically waited on, you can either do this on the 1 minute or the 5 minute, but I basically want to retest this area to make sure that price is actually going to respect it. And at first it didn't. It started to move up, but then it came back down. It came back down. And again, if you remember what I said, like these zones they can flip between areas to buy and sell from. So we first broke up, but my overall bias was bearish. So when we actually broke back down here, my entry was pretty much here. If you want to be safe, the original zone was up here. So again, I'm a swing trader, so the stop loss will be bigger, but I actually just had my stop loss more like here. And technically, I have just been adding to this position ever since. So I've added to it 3 times now. So the first one took me out in profit, but I'm pretty much risk free. And the way that I am now learning to swing trade is that when I get a trade that is winning, we're just going to keep adding to the position. So if we look on the 4 hour, I added to a position here. So when price came to break this low, this was an area of interest for me. I added to my position around here, and my stop loss was at the entry of my first one. And then we go down, and then our new position is, I like to now just follow the trend down. I think originally it was here. So I actually added, I've got 3 positions. And we're just going to maximize what this trend can do. So there's multiple reasons why we'll keep adding to a position. One of the biggest things is actually looking at the fundamentals. So we've not broken any type of major market structure. We've not broken any type of trend lines. And also, I've been really, really researching how the fundamentals can work in my favor. So if I'm in a sell right now, there's nothing really in the fundamental side of things that is going to change the position just yet. Euro USD overall on like a huge picture is actually bullish, but with very, very big pullbacks. So I can trade the pullbacks and the bullish moves as well. So it's a really different type of way that I've ever traded, because if you guys were watching me from last year, I always day traded. I didn't swing trade. I always day traded. And, you know, I'm like, it doesn't suit my life anymore. I want to be on the charts minimal, and I want to be able to learn how to utilize my winning positions so that I can really maximize my profits instead of just focusing on small moves. But also, a big goal of mine this year is to focus on the fundamentals so that I can use this for my long-term trading. So I feel more confident about adding to the position and staying in the trade for a longer period of time. So this is just, you know, what I want to do. That I just wanted to show you that, as that is literally how I trade now. You can see here, it's not, there's multiple aspects of it. I use trend lines, I use market structure, I use key areas, My entry confirmation is market structure on the lower time frame. But that patience, that patience. I'm now using volume and momentum and fundamentals to keep me in the trade. And until those things start to change or major structure starts to change, I'm going to keep adding to the position, because this is also, what I was saying to you guys about your risk management strategy. Most people just think about, oh, my risk management is just, I don't want to risk more than 0.5% on my account. Okay, cool, that's great. That's one part of risk management. The other part of risk management is, what is your target? How are you going to maximize those profits? So this is now part of my risk management strategy, that when I've got these runners, we are going to maximize it, but doing it in a safe way and protecting myself as I go along. Okay, so I'm just going to answer some of the questions now. Okay. Trend lines. What's your confirmation style since you're analyzing from a daily time frame? How do you confirm on the lower time frame? Okay, D4X. I hope that helped with your question. Say you have 1,000 to trade. What percent is best to risk per trade? So D4X, I would say it all depends on what your risk tolerance is. On a live account, I would potentially risk a little bit more, because I go by value, as in like the amount rather than percentage, what I feel comfortable risking. But on a funded account, because you've got to take into account, your daily drawdown and your max drawdown, always go on percentage. And it also depends how experienced you are, because as you become more experienced, I would happily risk a bit more compared to how I was before. So, it's a bit of a it's not a straightforward question. I have a sequence I work with. Amazing. I'm model trader. Thank you. Can't trade with just 1K, better to go. Yep, I agree with Twilight. If you got only $1,000, that's like the minimum that I would say to trade in a live account. But you're better off kind of trying to get together a couple thousand to trade really safely. But you've got so much opportunity. If you're learning, guys, like, just grab like a 10K funded account. Like, it's not a lot of money compared to putting £1,000 into a live account. Just learn on the smaller accounts. Build yourself up, build up your strategy, get better. If you can do it on a small account, you can do it on a big account. So yeah, I agree with Twilight there. And also, I wanted to mention something about prop firms, because actually my friend said this. She has a very bad relationship with money. So the idea, when she was trading with real money, it was really making her panic. Whereas when she started to trade with prop firms, because you're putting so much less, and then you kind of it doesn't feel like your money as such. It actually takes away a bit of that emotional pressure and that emotional trigger. And I've never really thought about it that way, and I think I really do agree with this, because if you put in a couple thousand of your own money, or you spend $100, $200, yes, okay, it's a little bit of your money, but it's nowhere near the kind of same amount of money as what you would need to really be trading with a live account. So it does take away a little bit of that emotional pressure around, if you don't have the greatest relationship with money. Wow, 9 years. Yeah, it's been a long time. Weekly, daily, 4 hour. You know what? I don't really look at the weekly, in all honesty. Maybe I will start, because I'm starting to swing trade, but I start on the daily. So close to a decade. Yeah. When I can say decade, will sound good, won't it? People, girls is allowed. Everyone's allowed to make mistakes. Don't ever think that making mistakes is a bad thing. We're all human. Time will tell. Yes, gold is confusing. Yes, at the moment, gold is confusing. When gold is on its bull run, or quite clearly trending, it's a good thing to trade. But it ranges a lot, and this is where it just takes everyone's money. So, be smart about it. Don't just force those trades. If it's consolidating, if it's ranging and you're confused, if you look at the market and you feel confused, make this your rule right now, people. You're not going to trade. Yeah, nothing there for gold. I want to have a look at GBP USD in a minute. Thanks for clarifying the edge. No worries. Want to see your analysis on silver? Will it fall? I think silver and gold probably move quite similar. It's probably ranging very similar. We'll have a look at silver actually. Before we do GBP USD as my last one, but we'll have a little look at silver. Yeah, we're ranging the same as gold, but I'll go through the analysis and we'll see where we're at. Okay. Okay, so one day, let's have a look. Let's have a little look at what we have. Silver, very, very bullish. I like to just get rid of the trend lines that don't need to be there. So we created a very, very steep trend line from here. Does look like we need a bit of a pullback. So I also consider, I use the Fibonacci tool. So I consider the 0.6 and the 0.7 as key areas of interest. So if I just use this tool quickly, oh God, doing it all wrong. Okay, so two areas of interest for me will be the 0.618 and the 0.7. These are kind of like my sweet zones, but I don't really see silver coming all the way back down to here. Maybe coming back down to here. Having a bit of a pullback, we've been very overextended. This is also kind of the area that we've broken out of. So this is an interesting zone. We might come back, very, very similar to gold. Like I said, we could see something like this, a pullback into this range. It's also, like I said, the 0.6 on the Fibonacci. Then we continue. Let's have a look on the daily. So just going to mark up as well the demand zone on the daily. So here, potential area to buy from. And again, if it comes all the way back down to here, this is pulling now back into the 0.7 area. So it'll be interesting. A little bit of a range. And when there is no clear direction, guys, what do? We wait for a direction. So what we're going to wait for is either price to come back into one of these key areas, either this one, or we wait for the breakout. We wait for it to break the breakout, retest above. So very similar to gold. But right now, nothing. When you look at it and it's looking like this, I know someone said, oh, do you not want to look at the 30? I will only drop down when I'm ready to enter. This has been a game changer for my trading, guys. I used to look at the lower time frame a lot to make my decisions. The lower time frame for me, like the 15-minute, the 5-minute, the 1 minute, anything like that, I am looking purely to enter. Sometimes I do use the 1 hour, but when the 4 hour isn't giving me what I need, there's no point me dropping down, because I don't want to get, when you start dropping down, you're gonna see, oh, we've got a bearish trend, and then you're gonna see, oh my gosh, we've got an uptrend. It's not strong enough for me, because we've created this range. 1 minute you're gonna see it going up on the lower time frame, next minute down, up, down. I don't want to be stuck in this, because that's not the type of trader I am. If you're a scalper, maybe a different story if the range is big enough, but that's not the way that I trade. So be patient, because at some point price will give you a direction, and instead of trying to beat the market and predict what it's going to do, just follow it. Follow it as it goes along, because the charts is literally a footprint of what is happening. You don't need to beat it. That's something that I massively kind of trade by. Okay. After a losing trade, how long does it take you to take the next trade? So for me, because I don't trade very much, I even as a day trader, I was only really kind of doing one trade a day at the max two. So if I took a losing trade, for me and my psychology, and I'm talking about me, it doesn't mean that you're exactly the same as me. So make sure you know yourself. But I don't particularly do too well with losing trades. So the best thing for me to do is when I take a losing trade is just stop for the day. I stop for the day. I let myself calm down. I let myself come out of survival. I let myself come out of the panic and the emotion and just come back the next day. We forget about the day before and we come back the next day. I've done my journaling, I've done my mindful stuff. Like I meditate, I like to walk, I go to the gym a lot. I've done all of that stuff. So I come back with a clear mind. Some people can handle losses better than I can, but that's me being completely honest with you, because people like to lie and say, "Oh, I can handle a loss," but then you're still trading emotionally. So be honest with yourself. That's who you need to be honest with. And I had to get honest with myself, and like I said, I struggle with accepting the loss instantly, so I need to allow myself that time to feel and then to let it go. Hopefully that makes sense. Uh, if beautiful girl is making mistakes, it's very lucky. Don't you analyze on a 30? Yeah, so D4X, hopefully I've already answered that for you. Maybe gold will come right back to the zone by Tuesday. Yep. Like I said, I never believe my opinions. I don't know what gold's going to do. We're going to break out, we're going to pull back, whatever it is that we're going to do. I've got my areas marked up and I'm not going to do anything until something happens. Are you waiting for the retest zone? Yes, Mr. Sabir. Gold is ranging. Yes, I only trade gold when it gets into a range on the daily time frame. I'm out of the market. That is very wise words. Very, very wise words. That's what I want to hear from you guys. If you're looking at the market and it's all ranging and you're asking yourself, "Oh, is it buy or sell?" That's not what you should be saying. You should be saying, I am not going to trade until it's clear which way the market is going. What's your thoughts on fundamentals, and is that important? So fundamentals never used to be important to me because I was only a day trader. It didn't really matter to me, especially as a scalper. It didn't really matter what was going on in the world because I was only staying in trades for a short amount of time. But I do believe if you want to swing trade or hold your positions, I feel so much more confident understanding and looking into the fundamentals. Before I never used to look into it. So if I was holding a position, I wouldn't feel confident because I'm like, oh, at any point it's going to turn. But now I've built up some more confluences around holding a position. I feel a lot more confident within it. So I do think it's important, depending on what type of trading you are doing. True patience is the name of the game. 100%. Patience got me through the first stage, but the news transaction failed. Oh, okay, yeah. Definitely be wary, guys, of red folder news because you don't want to be kind of pushed out of a trade. So yeah, just always be wary of when red folder news is around. Any tips for how to know if your edge is like good, not just like, okay, so Twilight, if you're using a proven strategy from someone else that's been around for a very long time, you already know that it's a proven strategy. If you are creating your own, you need to collect data for the next year. You want to collect a lot of data to prove that it's not luck. Time is what will tell. That's all I can say about that. It can't just be a month. It can't be 2 months. It can't be 3 months is pushing it. You want at least kind of 6 months of data to say this is exactly what I've been doing, and this is the exact strategy, and it's made profit consistently for the past year. Then I will quite happily say you've got an edge. How many RR do you target? So you know what, since I have become a swing trader, I trade with no TP. So I'm literally going to maximize my profits until the price tells me that we could be reversing, or if there's anything fundamentally that could reverse price. That's when I'm going to pull myself out. But until then, I'm going to keep adding my positions until we maximize the absolute max of the profits. That's what I believe you should be doing as a swing trader. When I was day trading, minimum I would be aiming for is a 1 to 2, but like a 1 to 3 is like a real sweet spot. But if you're more of a beginner, like a 1 to 2 is good. Don't you don't need to compare yourself to other people, when you see other people post their trades, because remember, people will post their trades when it's like 1 to 8. It's not realistic all the time. But yeah, being a swing trader definitely requires a hell of a lot of patience. And it's testing me, but this is what I want for my life, and I need a lot of patience outside of life too. So I think this is the next challenge that will be very, very good for me. Trading in trending market is beneficial, yeah, but I also trade against the trend. It just all depends what your strategy is. What do you prefer, like one main pair or multiple pairs? So Toshi, I trade NQ, I trade gold, I trade silver, I trade Euro USD, and I trade GBP USD. And one of those pairs will usually give me a setup, and then I'm in a position now, so I'm only focusing right now on Euro USD. So once that's done, then I kind of like reset. And also, again, with my strategy, nothing, we're going through the things that I trade, the other things that I'm looking at, there's no setup for me. So yeah. What do you prefer? Like one, okay, I read that comment. Sorry guys, I can see there's a lot of comments here. I'm a little bit behind, but thank you so much for the questions, because like I said to you guys in the last session, people say to me all the time, I can't afford mentoring, and that's fine. This is why ThinkCapital is such a great company, because they're giving you value. We are using we're using use this time to ask the questions that you need. But yeah, I'm quite far behind in the questions, so sorry. uh okay, someone said, are you're a swing trader? I've only just started. um I've only just started doing the swing trading. I've always been a day trader. I actually originally started off as a scalper, so very, very different. Now I am transitioning into a swing trader. That was my goal for last year. I didn't hit that goal, but this year I'm determined. So this is the big target for this year, to become a swing trader. But yeah, one pair is better, less directions, 100%. It all just depends on how experienced you are. When I first started learning, I only focused on gold. I didn't even look at anything else. Tales of Imuku, I like your mindset. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited actually, because we're literally just about to launch the academy. And I'm super, super excited about this. It's more like hands-on mentorship. We've got that all launching. So if anyone follows me, it's Doey Trades on Instagram. You'll be able to keep up to date with all of that stuff, and you'll be able to work with me a lot closer. So I'm literally relaunching that with my business partner, who is also a swing trader, who's also been trading for a very long time. Okay. DXY is so bullish. Yes, that was the other thing. DXY I use for Euro USD and GBP USD, because they do correlate quite nicely. If DXY starts to go bearish, then I will be again kind of looking to come out of that swing position. Currencies move super slow. Yep, I always used to prefer gold and indices, but it all depends on what type of trader you are. Like I said, I want to be more of a swing trader. I want that clean flow of movement. Gold, commodities can sometimes fluctuate quite a lot. It can give you a bit of anxiety, so you've got to be ready for that. It's all got to be, true to what works for you and your lifestyle. um is trendline works the most. So trendline's only one part of it. I don't Trend lines are just there for guidance. They're not like a huge part of my strategy. But I do use them on the higher time frame, the daily and the 4 hour, as guidance. You got to have a lot of understanding about market structure and other things, I think, because trend lines have a lot of fake outs. So people don't understand how to use them. You might struggle with a lot of fake outs. Man, she reads every chat. It's because I care about you guys. I want to help you. Most people don't even bother to read the chat. But yeah, steady moves since early January. Remember, the traders are slowly starting to come back into the market now. So I think, where we're ranging a little bit by the end of January, we're definitely going to have a bit more direction on where price is going. So yeah, it's a very normal time for it to be ranging when we've got like when you're trading commodities. Do you have any secret strategy for gold? Not really. I pretty much trade the same strategy what I've just taught you guys. I don't trade JPY pairs, and the reason for it is because I just haven't felt like I need to. I already trade like multiple pairs, like up to 5 pairs, not all at the same time, but I don't ever feel like I need to add another one. So until maybe I want to, then I just won't. But I do like JPY pairs because sometimes I do look at them and the way that they move and the trending markets. I think it is a good JPY pairs are pretty good. What's a realistic percentage profit to expect from a funded account? I've breached 4 accounts due to greed and overconfidence. I'm making 7 to 8%. Okay, so realistically, you want to, like, don't rush this. And Calm Krishna, you've said it in that comment. Due to greed and overconfidence, after making 7 to 8%, 7 to 8% is incredible. Don't feel like that's not enough. That's insane. If you had 100K account, if you had a 200K account and you're making 7 or 8%, like, try to detach yourself from the money, because the money is what is giving you so much emotion. Okay, guys. So I think what I'm gonna go and do now is the giveaway, because I just want to make sure that we get round to doing that, because otherwise I can talk here all day, all day with you guys. But I know you are all excited for the giveaway. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. You guys have given such good questions. Sorry I haven't been able to go through them all. But yeah, I am gonna go and do the giveaway now. So the 3 winners are going to be picked at absolute random. If one of the winners is not here, then we are going to have to give it to someone else. So I'm hoping the 3 winners are still with us. Okay, first winner picked at random through the comments. Okay, there we go. I've screenshotted Twilight X Genesis. Twilight. Twi. 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 Twilight. Twilight X. It would be great if you guys didn't have such long usernames. I'm keeping my eyes on the lookout to see if you're still here. Keep an eye in the comments, guys. I've literally just posted the first winner. So I'm just waiting to see if you're still here. I hope you guys have been liking the live for me. I haven't seen this person yet. Are you still here, Twilight? Twilight X Gen. I don't think they're here. I've posted again in the comments, but I don't think that person is here. Okay, if that person doesn't respond, then it will be given to someone else. Second winner. Okay, I've just screenshotted. Iraq FX. Oh, I saw you. I just saw you. I'm just typing the name into the I think it is Iraq FX. There you are. I've seen you again. I've seen you there. Iraq FX. You are my winner. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, we've got one claimed. Other person isn't here, so we've got 2 more winners. I'm definitely going to look into doing some type of comment thing because this is quite long. Okay, so we got Trade Ninja 645. Trade Ninja. Oh, I've just seen you. Ninja 345. Guys, you're making me go all dizzy with all of these comments. Trade Ninja. There you go. I just saw you again. 645. Trade Ninja. Trade Ninja 645. I see you have accepted the win, and then we're gonna have one more winner for today, and the winner goes to Bluffin 170. Bluffin 170. Bluffin. I'm trying to see if I can see your name coming up. Bluffin 170. Right, let's see if you claim it. Trying to see if this person is still here, because if they're not, I'm gonna have to give it away again. I don't think they're there. Oh no, 2 people. Bluffin 170, I don't think is there. Nope. Okay. Oh no, there you are. Bluffin 170. I see you. Mimi. Okay, you're there. Okay, perfect. We got my 3 winners. Yes, you got it. All right, okay. So bluffing at 170 is the last winner. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, guys. For my winners, all you need to do is either DM Andre on Discord, screenshot, so that you can share that you are one of the winners. If you want to message me on Instagram, it's Doey Trades. You can send over your email to me there, and I can get your account issued and send it over to the team. But yeah, all you need to do is either message Andre or message me on Instagram. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for everyone who has joined, and I will see you all next week. See you later. Bye.